You want a high vibration life? You got to learn to think high vibration. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. I am going to cover how to go about thinking high vibration because that is something that we don't grow up learning to do with our powerful thinking mind to keep it focused and in that place of high vibration energy, which we know our thoughts are high vibration when the emotion is positive and low vibration when it's negative. So I'm going to go into that. At the end of this video, I'm going to do another piece that I was asked if I would do it by a viewer, how to handle heartbreak in the breakup of a relationship. How do you navigate that vibrationally to basically mitigate that heartbreak and get in a place where you can be in high vibration even though that situation is not one that you like. And there's a very good reason that you can do that. So I'm going to cover that at the end if you want to hang in for that. Now back to the original video here. You want to learn to think high vibration because everything you want is high vibration. Here you are with your dreams and desires on your mind, things that you want, you'd like to experience, and you'd like to have those in your physical world. And they're in your imagination, which is really a window into your vibrational reality. Remember, from all the things that you don't like, that causes your inner being to set up the things that you do like. And so when you have dreams and use your imagination, that's not for nothing. That's powerful stuff. That's a window in on things that are on the way to you. And that's all high vibration stuff because you want it because it feels good. And that's what high vibration is. It's all that good feeling energy, thought energy. So here we are in our daily life. We have our dreams and desires, all high vibration, all feeling good about those. Those feel good when we think about them. And then we're in our daily life. And you can see that we have the choice of how we look at things in our daily life. We could look at them in this way, low vibration, or we could look at them this way. We have that choice. We can choose high vibration or low vibration thoughts about anything. And so each thought is energy. A thought is energy. There's energy that is being broadcast to the law of attraction when you have a thought and your emotion tells you if it's high or low vibration. So you can see from that as you're broadcasting this kind of energy to the law of attraction, it's going to give you more of what you don't like that's in your physical world. It's just going to recycle that energy, and the manifestation from it is going to be the same thing. And that's what I call the rodeo ride that leads you to the train wreck. So things are just going in a way that's not really all that much fun, and you're not really receiving what you want. It's not that way at all when you're low vibration. But you do have a choice, and you can think the good feeling thoughts. And that's going to change everything because that momentum then is going to have the law of attraction hooking you up with the details that bring you along to receive these things that you're dreaming of and you're imagining, and you would like to have them as your experience in life. So how do we handle this? How do we handle this? Because what you want, again, your dreams and desires are all high vibration. And to receive them, you've got to be there in your daily life, right? It's not just sometimes or once in a while. It's what you're broadcasting all of the time through your day on all matters. You really don't even have to think about things that you want, quite frankly, because the vibration of them is, you could say, positive emotion. And so if you're doing this for any reason, doesn't really matter, the law of attraction is going to hook you up with the path of the details to everything you want. It's not the kind of relationship where you have to think about what you want for it to manifest. That's not true at all. You just have to feel the vibration of it, which is happy, joy, fun, interest, all those good feeling emotions. So when you're feeling them, then you are a vibrational match to them, and you can receive the path to them. So how do we go about doing that in our daily life? Because a lot of faulty beliefs that we've picked up, they influence us to think these low vibration kinds of thoughts. And we got to be able to choose a thought that feels good. But, there's not a canned thought that you're going to use. If somebody says, well, Brian, I'm in a job situation, I don't feel good about it. What's the thought that I can think that's going to cause me to receive the job that I want, that other job that I want to see manifest? What's the thought that I can think? And there really is no specific thought that applies to everybody. It's just the thought that feels good to you. How are you going to talk about that job? Now, we all have the framework of the creative process. So we can say things like, well, I came for joyous expansion. We can be very general about the story that we tell. We can say, I came for joyous expansion. I know I have an inner being. I know this whole universe is behind me. I know when I have contrast, even this job that I have that I don't like, I know that means I'm being clear about what I do like, right? So what do I like? Because what I don't like is always going to tell me what I do like. Because if I don't like something, it means I must like the opposite of it. So we can talk in general terms, which is a very good starting place for a script to deconstruct a faulty belief, a negative feeling thought. That's a great way to start in a general sense, and then you lead up to, well, what's true about this situation? Well, my energy was in a place that brought me this job as it is. Okay, so it's not like the world's doing anything to me or I'm stuck here. It's just a vibrational feedback to what I've got going on in my energy. Okay, so I want to change that. I want to change my focus because I've been thinking about a job in a certain way, or even about myself in a certain way, and this job reflects that energy. And so I got to clean up the way I'm looking at myself, feeling about myself, thinking about myself, and the way I think about a job. So then you reconstruct a story that says, well, I would like to have a job that has this quality and that quality and this quality. And of course, my inner being has it all set up, and I'm completely worthy and deserving to have that experience. That's just the way life is. I came in here to have experiences for the clarity and to realize what it is that I want. My inner being takes care of the setting up of it. And so see, that kind of dialogue gives you all these nice high vibration thoughts to replace thoughts like, well, I'm stuck in this job, and I don't like the location and the hours, and there's some things going on here, and I'm not sure how I'm ever going to get out of this, kind of feel stuck in it. See, that's all low vibration story. That's just going to keep you recycling that same energy, and the law of attraction is going to basically keep you in that kind of experience. Even if you quit or run away from the job or whatever, move to a different country, a different planet, it doesn't matter. The law of attraction is going to set you up with a situation that is going to be really the same vibrationally. So, you can stay where you are and clean up your vibration on the situation, or you can leave and clean it up, but you've got to clean it up. And this is the thing, is that there's no one thought that's going to clean it up. Again, you can talk in general terms, as I did, using the creative process, but eventually it's going to be very specific to you. The story in the end is going to be specific to you, because you do that first dialogue, that first self-talk, to deconstruct why that thought that you're thinking is not true. Like if you say, well, I'm stuck in this job, well, you say that can't be true. That's not true, because my inner being knows I'm here and I don't like it, which means my inner being knows what I like, which means my inner being set up the job that I like. And the path is ready for me to receive all the details, and I can choose a good feeling thought to receive the details and receive the job that I want. So there's no way I'm stuck. That's not even sensible to think a thought like that. So there you've deconstructed it. And then you reconstruct and you say, well, what is true is that I did come here to have experience and have all the things that I wanted from the experience. I would be clear about what I want. My inner being would set that up in the path. And then I just focus in positive ways about where I am, the clarity that I have. Again, my favorite things about this, what's working, just all a positive focus so that my emotional satisfaction is 100%. And then feeling the joy of that experience that is on the way. You see, that's all that kind of deconstruction and reconstruction. And then you finish that off with, and what I would like is this. So now you're telling the story of what you want. Now you're changing the energy. You're changing it about yourself, your worthiness, your deserving, your value. You're having that conversation with yourself. You're talking about the experience that you want. Now you're taking these good feeling thoughts and you're writing over the old faulty belief thoughts. And as you do that over and over, then you're going to develop that pattern. That's going to be your dominant energy, and you're going to find yourself receiving details that do move you along to the new experience that you want. But the key of all of this is in terms of keeping yourself, let's go back here, in agreement with the vibration of what you want, right? Your thoughts are energy, and you want to be choosing the good feeling ones, and you know if you are, and the way that you know you are picking a thought after you've felt a thought that doesn't feel good is that you're going to get emotional relief. You've got to pick the thought that gives you emotional relief. Now, a lot of that general stuff that I talked about will give you emotional relief, especially as you practice it more and you understand the full creative process. Those words are going to mean a lot to you. They're going to give you ease and relief. And you got to carry it through. You can't do just the deconstruct without the reconstruct, and you can't just jump to the reconstruct. You've got to do both sections so that you really you call out that negative feeling thought, that faulty belief, and you show it to be nonsense. So now it doesn't really mean anything to you. It doesn't get you your attention nearly as much, if at all. And then you're reconstructing so that you can feel that the experience that you want is on the way, and you can appreciate where you are. So you're not feeling stuck at all, and then you're going to get excited about the experience that you want. You're going to feel good about that. So whatever thoughts you use, and my book of life, of course, gives you all kinds of ways to have scripts about these things. And you can use them as they are if they resonate with you and they give you emotional relief, or you can adapt them, adjust them, whatever you want to do with them. But they're just to give you the idea that when you're having a negative feeling thought about some experience in your life, you've got to go to the thoughts that are going to give you relief. And it's not likely that word for word that those same words are going to give somebody else relief, even in the same situation. In fact, it could be that even when you think thoughts and you put a little story together that give you relief, that you might have to adjust it. Maybe next week it's not going to quite give you the emotional relief, and so you got to adjust it. So it's really an art of choosing these thoughts. It's a skill to learn to feel around for thoughts using the creative process as your guidance to deconstruct, reconstruct, and then talk about the story about the way you want it to be. That's a real skill. You could call it an art form because you're really crafting words into perspectives that's really going to feel good to you. And you can see why you can't just say to somebody, well, here's the words. If you're in a job that you don't like, use these words. And anytime you're not feeling good about it, say these words, you'll get relief. And then the new job can, you can be connected with the new job through the law of attraction. See, you can't do that. That's why when I coach people, I work with the same kinds of situations with different people. It's never, the conversation between us is never the same. There's no canned coaching, no canned situation that I'm saying, here's the words for you. It just depends on what are the faulty beliefs, how long you've been practicing, how much momentum do they have, what's gone on in other parts of your life that affect this part of your life. Do you have compound faulty beliefs? Are the beliefs mostly about yourself, the faulty beliefs, and then some about specific beliefs about jobs, or is it vice versa? It's a real dissection of what the energy is in there. So the point I want to make to you here is that there is no canned thoughts that's going to give you a high vibration. The standard general thoughts about the creative process, about why you came here and how life works, those are kind of standard, but you can still use those in different ways, different combinations that really feel good to you. So even at the general level, you're still going to probably have your own kind of way to say it that really means something to you. But as you get more into the reconstruction and the details of the new story, that is really unique to you. And so you've got to learn to build those kinds of thoughts and stories, and so that you're going to create the emotional relief. That's what really replaces that negative feeling thought and then displaces the faulty belief. And then your world starts to change. So you got to be a good storyteller. That's the end of the deconstruction, reconstruction process, is to tell the story the way you want it to be and feel it and know it. And that's just part of your overall daily vibration of the day, that when you think about it, it's a good feeling place. But of course, there's lots to your day, and you've got to have that good feeling thought energy on all of that stuff. But certainly when it comes to your dreams and desires, and if you are working at a job that you're not satisfied physically, that you got to be a good storyteller about the job as it is and the job that you want, so that even though you're physically in a job you don't like, emotionally you're 100% satisfied. That's the key that will connect you with the path, so that you receive that new experience. So this is a real skill and art to develop this idea of building scripts and telling stories. That is something you really want to practice and get good at, because that's the thing that's going to put you at the vibration of the things that you want. And not just stories about the things that you want, but just even the details of your day, the people in your day. What stories are you telling about the people in your day? And what stories are you telling about your past? And what stories are you telling about your health and material wealth and all that? You got to have stories for everything. And in my video, Happy New Life, I talk about developing the storybook. That's a great, a video to watch to build up these stories about the things that are going on in your life, so you can focus on positive aspects and the story of the thing that you want. It gives you a really great reference point. And as you write those stories out in the book and you practice them, and then they become fluent and natural to you, and then you're trained, and then that's the way it works for all areas of your life. So that's the way you want to handle that. If you want your high vibration life, it's about learning to think high vibration. So whatever situation that you're in, if you find your negative feeling thoughts, you must be able to fluently replace those negative feeling thoughts. Because if you let them go on, they're going to gather momentum, and then they're going to pull you right down into that old momentum. And that's why you want to practice this stuff every day. That's why I put these videos out here every day, because it's the daily repetition, the daily saturation, the daily practice that I don't want to let you go any more than a little bit of time in a day, that you can come back and reconnect. Oh, that's the way it is, right? Like, just get yourself right back in alignment when you slide out. And, between these videos and my books and then the mastery group, my website, there's just so much information there, and tools and information that you can use on a daily basis to keep yourself connecting, so that whenever you're finding yourself slipping out of alignment, you can pull yourself right back in there. And that's what you want to do, because as you do that over and over, you are going to develop the new thought habits, and that's going to become natural to you. And you'll be able to, in any situation, come up with thoughts that are meaningful to you. They give you emotional relief, and you'll never slip much off into a low vibration without bringing yourself right back in. And that's really the key to life. That's the key to your high vibration life. So you want to learn to think high vibration. Again, feel resistance, find relief. So that's, again, in this video. So if you feel resistance about something in your day, something's going on, you got to find relief. And the way you find relief is with the kinds of thoughts that you start pulling into your mind, as I described, and you will find relief. And if you do that one thing, that could just be one phrase that describes it all. Feel resistance, find relief. Now, you got to be aware to feel the resistance. That's the first thing. And when you feel it, then you got to know how to find relief. And you got to find it fast, so that momentum, that negative momentum, does not pick up. Because if it does, it's going to carry you away. And it's okay if it does. Then you just practice, and next time it comes, you're ready for it. And then you find the relief, and you get better at it, and you find it faster. So that's that's the way you want to think about high vibration life, and how you live it, and how the things that you want manifest. So you can see from this that there's none of that business about manifestation techniques. That's all a misunderstanding. We want to get back into living and being our high vibration self, and that's all about the way we use our powerful thinking mind. We did not learn and were never taught to think high vibration, because we were never given any of that information about how life works. And when we have a lack of that information, then we just choose thoughts that are habitual, that we've seen, heard, and that's the way we live our life. So we want to get away from those old habits, those faulty belief habits of thinking, and really bring intentional thinking into our mind so that it's high vibration. It becomes natural and easy, and then your life will flow in that way. Okay, so that's the main video, but let me just go over here now to talk about how to vibrationally handle contrast, and in specific, the contrast of a relationship. So when you want a relationship, and the first thing you want to be sure of is that you're in alignment, and that you're not going into a relationship looking for love and respect and appreciation. So you got to have that in yourself, and when you have it and you meet somebody, then they're going to flow it back to you. They're going to bounce it back like a mirror, and that's the way that you're going to receive it from them, as a bounce back, not from them as being the source. Because if you're looking for it from them, you're in a lot of trouble, because it's not their job to give it to you, and quite frankly, they can't reflect back something to you that you don't have in yourself. So that's going to be a rodeo ride. But there are people that do meet on that basis, and then that causes more clarity, and what happens is each person is asking for a better experience, and the law of attraction is going to put them in different places that where they can connect with first themselves, learn to be in alignment and understand that's what happened in the situation, and then get the alignment, and then get in line with the kind of experience that you want. So you're getting connected with somebody because you're interested in their characteristics and what you find interesting about them, and there's common interests and values that each person find that they want to spend time with each other. So that's more of a high vibration connection. But even in a high vibration connection, the relationship's going to grow. There's going to be contrast, and if you got a good connection, a good alignment connection in the beginning, then there's still going to be contrast, and you're going to want to have the thing grow. And that's natural for a relationship to grow. It should always be growing. Everything grows. Everything's expanding. So when you have contrast in the relationship, then you focus on the positive aspects that you have, and you look forward to the new characteristics of the relationship that you can draw in through your partner. And you will if you're focused positively. Now, what happens with a lot of people is they start focusing on things that they don't like. And of course, even though it could be a solid, smooth running relationship, because they're focusing on the contrast that they don't like, now we get a divide in the vibration. And that could be that, if the divide gets enough, then people do go apart, because the law of attraction will separate you on the basis of vibration. So there's the two ways. So if you come together out of alignment, then you're going to get a lot of awareness, and then you're going to go apart, and you're going to get yourself in alignment. You're going to get your story in alignment about what you want. And then you're going to come together with somebody in alignment, and then you still got to know how to handle contrast, or you're going to end up going apart vibrationally again. And if you know how to handle it, then you just keep growing together, and it just keeps getting to be a more full, more enjoyable, more expanding relationship, just like your whole life on a personal basis. Okay? So in any case, if there is the breakup, okay, then nothing has gone wrong. That's the first thing you got to know, is that nothing has gone wrong. It's all a vibrational experience. And when there is contrast, that means that, each person has asked for what they want from the contrast. And so there is another relationship that's ready to be received, but you got to be in alignment, and you got to have your story about the kind of experience that you want, and then you will come together with a person. Now, like I said in the first example, if you didn't come together in alignment, then it is possible that both people could get in alignment, and they would be the person that the other person was interested in, and they could come together. That is possible. Usually it means that people get to know themselves better, and they really haven't been themselves. So usually they will end up with different people. But people come together in alignment, and they got a good solid connection, but they just didn't process the contrast in a effective way. they most certainly, when they're apart, will think and realize and remember the goodness of that relationship. And if they have the presence of mind to hold that person in their mind in a good feeling way, very big percent chance those people end up back together again. And actually, I should replace that word chance. It's not a chance thing. There's a very big likelihood that the vibrations will be matched up again, and then the law of attraction will bring these people together again, and they'll pick it up, and now they'll be more clear, and they'll carry on in a very solid relationship. So if you have heartbreak and you're apart, either way, it's a win-win situation. If you come back together, that's great, and you can enjoy each other, and it's going to go forward. If you don't come together, then you're going to come together with somebody else who also matches your vibration once you get yourself in alignment, and you know really what you want in a relationship in terms of the interests and spending time together and the value of it and all those kinds of things, the character of the other person. But remember, you're not looking to get something from another person that it's not their job to give you. You must have your self-love, self-respect, self-appreciation in order, and then that person will reflect that back to you. But certainly if you're in a situation and you're not getting that respect and you're not getting that appreciation, that's not really them, that's you, and they're reflecting it back to you. You've got work to do on your self-image and self-respect and self-love. And a lot of times in relationships, people will hold the other person responsible for that, and that obviously causes a rodeo ride. So we want to understand what our part is in terms of bringing into the relationship, and then the reasons that we're coming together, and then we want to know what the contrast is and be sure that we're remain positively focused on our partner and the things that are all good, and looking forward to the new experiences and the new qualities in the relationship. So if you do have heartbreak, because there's a separation going on there, a heartbreak is your inner being letting you know that you do have a relationship set up in your vibrational reality at that very same time where there's the contrast. And it's a relationship that is totally in tune, because your inner being only ever sets up things that are completely in agreement with what your life experiences caused you to want. So a relationship that didn't go well, whether it was for one person or the other person or both people, it really doesn't matter, because like I say, it's in the big picture, it's a win-win. You're either going to get yourself in alignment, they're going to get themselves in alignment, and you'll come back. The law of attraction will take care of that. You don't make that happen. You get drawn into it with your energy. Or you're going to go off into different people, and you're going to go into alignment with other people, but it's still going to be the experience that you want. And so heartbreak is a negative emotion, and it says you're thinking you don't have, or you just lost something that you really wanted, and you can't get it back, or you're not thinking you can get it back, or you've messed something up that was really good. And none of that's ever true, because of the way this universe works. And when you had that contrast, again, the experience that you want is all ready for you. And so that your inner being is literally standing with the experience that you want. And so when you think that you've lost something, you haven't lost anything. You've gained. It's always a gain. Remember, even when there's contrast in a relationship and there's some rough times, there's still a gain going on. And you're either going to come back together with that person in a better way than ever, or you're going to go off and you're going to be with another person in a way that's really very satisfying, in alignment with you. And so there's never any reason for heartbreak. Heartbreak is a negative emotion, which means your thoughts are out of alignment with what you want. And if you bring them back in, realizing that what you want is ready for you to receive, then you're not going to feel heartbreak. You're going to feel joy. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel the gain. You're going to feel the expansion of your life. And so that's the way you vibrationally handle the contrast in a relationship. And quite frankly, it's that way in every aspect of your life. I mean, I used the relationship example, but I could have used job. I could have used material wealth. I could have used business. I could have used friendships. I could have used anything. And it's the same thing. You just when you have the contrast, you didn't lose anything. It's always a gain. It's always a gain. So again, you focus on the positive aspects of what the experience was. You focus on the positive aspects of the experience that you want. You have a general positive attitude going through your day. You like yourself. You get yourself in alignment. And then one way or another, you're going to come together not only with the people that you want, but everything that you want in life. That's the way that it works. So if you are feeling heartbreak, what that means is you don't have a problem. You didn't lose anything. Nothing has gone wrong. You just got a focus issue. You're focusing on the contrast like it's something bad, like you lost something, you did something wrong, somebody else did something wrong, whatever it is, all that drama that happens when you look at contrast in a way that's not natural. And if you get looking at it in a way that is natural, so that you realize there's a celebration of expansion, then the heartbreak is going to go away, and you can get into the feeling of the experience that you want and be very grateful and thankful for the experience that you had, for the clarity that it caused, and your life is going to joyously expand. So that is the message on how to vibrationally handle contrast in a relationship. And if there's feelings of heartbreak or any other negative feelings, you can soothe them by realizing it was contrast for clarity, and one way or another, it's a win-win situation. If you will get your focus going towards what you want and appreciate what has happened, then you're going to move right into a situation that you're going to be very, very satisfied with. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for that one. And going back to the original, remember, if you want your high vibration life, then you got to do some high vibration thinking. And that, of course, lends itself to this. If you want your high vibration relationship experience, you got to get into some high vibration thinking, even when a current situation is not in the shape that you want it to be in. You still got to employ or use your mind in a positive feeling way with perspectives, as I talked about, so that you remain in alignment. And then you're going to have your high vibration life in the relationship and everywhere else in your life. So, see, high vibration thinking, learning how to use your thoughts, choose your thoughts in a way that are in alignment with the way that life works and who you are, that's what's really going to give you the life that you want. So that's the video for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.